Okay, so I got kicked off a live earlier. I'm trying to restart it, so y'all give me just a moment. And I'm going to try to cancel the other one. So I saw there were still people sitting there waiting on me. I didn't know it was still up. Internet crashed. Isn't that always fun stuff? Technology. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, go in here to my channel. And hopefully I can end this other one live so y'all won't be confused. Go to my studio. I don't know how it's still saying that it's live, because I was off the internet and everything. Let's see. Last live. This one is the one we're going to. Yeah, still saying it's live. We end it here. End it. So that one should be ended. Hopefully you all see the new live. If not, I know you can always come back and watch it later. I just wanted to do this one live only because I wanted you to really see what it looks like doing it in real time with no real prep work or anything like that. The only limitations is pretty much your your internet connection, as mine is today. So I think I can refresh this and I should only see one live session right now. Whew, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and you all can always do a playback if you need to. I'm not mad at that. All right, I'm going to close that out and go ahead and get into our work. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a few photos that I have that were sent by Octavius Cummings Photography, and we're going to do whatever we can do for free. So I'm going to do the remove background with the free version. So of course it's not going to have the greatest resolution, but we're working with what we're working with for free. I did want to give y'all a heads up that Ken in the group said that he was able to get Affinity for $19.99 on Bonanza, and I think normally it's $50. So that was a steal of a deal. Alright, so remove BG, I'm going to drag over an image and see how well it does with removing the background. And as I stated, these were professional pictures done by Octavius Cummings Photography. He travels, look him up. He's a part of the group as well. And I'm just dragging 3 images because I do want to show you all how to do that whole transparent photo in the background type of deal. So we're going to choose 3 different photos, and plus I don't think any of you got up in enough time 3 graduation pictures that I could do this with, so I'm just working with what I got. And I will be doing a really intense template. I think I'm going to do a banner, a softball banner with these photos. Alright, so we got those. Now we can start downloading them. Hopefully we don't run into any issues. Okay, that downloaded 1. Let's download 2 and 3. And of course you see that it's downloading a low resolution version of it, but we're going to see how these work out. I'm going to go ahead and open the containing folder so I know where those are. So I did my remove BG. The next thing that I'm going to do is, let's do the Pixlr. And you don't have to log in or anything. You can just use this basic editor. It's free. And I showed the group earlier how to do this with the transparency. So we're going to open an image and let's go to the downloads. I don't know if it'll open more than one. 1, 2, 3. Got 4 images there. Let's do one at a time. So I guess I'll do a left and right picture, and then I'll do a center picture. So what I want to show you is that we can do transparency here, just unlock. And you see I double clicked on that lock. Now this is editable. If I click on these three dots here, I get some options. And I'm going to do a transparency of, let's do about 60. Okay, and I also have the option to do some effects here. I can bring the saturation all the way down if I wanted to make this like a black and white image. But we also have the option to do that with right here, the black and white feature. Let me undo something real quick. Cancel that, and let's try. Well, we have the black and white editor in the program, but if I go ahead and turn it black and white now, I think I have the option to do more stuff later. And I made these images like really small. This is not how small they are, but I don't like what it's doing around these edges. We're going to see what that does in the long run. So let's go ahead and save that. Oh yeah, it's because Remove BG made them real small. This program actually does allow you to remove the background if you want to take some time and do that. Let me show you. We can bring in a full resolution image. Uh-oh. I'm going to bring in the full resolution image and show you. Where is it? Somewhere. So many files I've been working on lately. Y'all been keeping me really, really busy. Okay, so let's grab that one. Okay, you see that this image is high resolution, but there is a way to remove the background. You can honestly, if you have your stylus, you can even just go around it and remove it that way. But I'm just letting you know there are other methods besides remove BG. And there are also methods to use your magic cutout. And I guess it would have been better off if I hadn't removed that in the first place. And you can exchange, well, not exchange, you can change the tolerance here to give it more or less tolerance for what it's selecting. And let's zoom out a little bit. Keep on removing. Just showing you free tools. Now, you see what it just did? It selected way too much there. Let me see if I can go back, undo, and I might need to bring the tolerance down so that it doesn't select so much there. And that's exactly what the tolerance does. Of course, they got some of that in there. Like I said, when it comes to tools, you're kind of going to get what you pay for, but this is a good free solution. And you're going to have to make sure that this is really clean, because chances are it's not. Chances are when you bring this into something else, you're going to have a lot of stuff still there. But we're going to fade off the bottoms anyway, because I want to show y'all how to do that. But I am letting you know that this is not the easiest way to go. You have a lasso too. You can come and get the majority of the trash out of the way. This is powerful. It's free, and it's powerful, especially for the free. So keep this tool in mind. This is Pixlr. I'm sure they have a paid version of this too. I would just prefer for you to have something like if you can't do Photoshop, then at least Affinity. And we did a tutorial on that today. Affinity impressed me quite a bit as far as what it can do. Let me bring this tolerance back up to try to get rid of some of this garbage here. And I can use the paintbrush to cut out as well. This is not a bad option, especially if you're on your phone or something and you just need something to work on more immediately. But I for sure, this is how some people have to cut out that don't have Photoshop. They have to use these type of programs where you have to go in and manually cut. I'm, you know, kind of prone to using the pen tool in Photoshop if I have to cut something out, just because I get really smooth lines. But as you can see, we can work with it here, and it looks like we need to, I don't know if we can add this back. Okay, let's you add it back. Cool stuff. And usually with the, see, hint removed. Oh, I guess it hints at what you removed prior. I don't need you to hint, but that's something that might be worth it. Bring down the size of this brush. I was trying to get this blue out of our hair right here without doing too much work, but I probably would just cut off that whole strand right there. If it's gonna look raggedy, take it off. Alright, so free background removal. I would definitely play with this a little bit more, but the whole point here is that I did want to show you that we can take this image, and let's say we are going to do our little fade out technique. We don't need the whole bodies because we're going to bring them together as a collage. Let's do an eraser brush. I'm going to do big and maximum softness, and what I'm going to do is pretend that I need to fade off this top part up here, so I might take that off, and then of course I have the rest of the image. Now this is just showing you that it's possible, because we were talking about an app that would allow us to, and matter of fact, I think, what tool was it that we were using? This lasso tool would get all of this trash out of here real easy. So I went a little too far. What did it do? Oh, I'm on the keep. Duh. I wondered what it was doing. Alright, I wanted to be on the remove. So I'm just trying to remove this trash here. If it'll let me. I guess I have to zoom out. There we go. And then if it has some extra stuff in there, we will definitely see when we go to download this. Unlock that layer. And then I'm going to move this more towards the center. And I can even crop it down now because I don't need all this. So when I bring it into my design program, I only need this. Yep, here's your free version. Save. Save it as a PNG, and it's still a large file, so it did that part. This is only what, my second time playing with this program, and I didn't read any directions, so that's probably my fault. But let's bring in, how do we bring in a new photo? That's the program. Close, add an image. Let's bring up image number 2 and 3. I wonder if I can bring in more than one image at a time. That's the one was done by Remove BG. So we have this one and this one. Nope, one image at a time. So we're doing 12. Let's do a new one. Original, apply. Whew. And this time let's do to the magic cutout, and we'll do a light softness, see how that works. The softness is whether it gives it like a little bit of a feather, or if it just bluntly cuts what it thinks it doesn't need. And this is based on your internet power as well, so I could imagine if something goes wrong. That's the only problem with designing on apps. If something goes wrong, I don't believe it's going to save it unless there's a way like you have a login and it does that naturally. This isn't bad. I'm not, you know, I'm not completely mad at this, because I could definitely see this being something that I teach the kids how to do. And we're not going to even worry about what's down here. Like I said, we're going to fade these images off, but I definitely would have to decrease this tolerance in order to keep the socks and everything else down there. So at this point, I think I got the majority from around my image. I think what I'm going to do here is grab the brush now and just kind of clean up a little bit. And I hate doing stuff like this with a mouse. If you have a stylus or you're doing this on your phone, that would probably be much better than trying to do this with the mouse. And I'm only worried about what's closest to the image, because I can take my lasso and clean up all the extraneous stuff on the outside. Not bad. Just giving it a soft little glow around it. I probably could clean up much better in Photoshop, but this is our FREETOSHOP session. The things we do for the free ski, I'm telling you. Let me go ahead and make this size bigger, and let's get some of this trash from around here so that we can get our lasso tool and clean it up even better. And then from here I can do my size and my softness. And I'm trying to remember about where we cut off on the last one. It's doing the same thing. So now you are removing part of the image with a feathered effect so that you don't have that hard edge when it comes to layering these. Now the rest of this, I'm going to grab this lasso and tell it to beat it, because I don't have that kind of time nor energy. And I'm hoping that I've got all this stuff from around here. You can definitely take more of your time to do this, hence the word your time. I'm not used to spending all this time on this type of stuff. Let's crop it now. There we go. And got that crop. Let's save it as PNG, full resolution. And this is definitely better than as far as the resolution than the Remove BG, as far as the free version. So definitely, if I were doing the paid version of Remove BG, I think this would have equated to like a 20-cent cut or something like that, which may be worth it if you do a lot of cutouts. I think, what do I pay? $9 for 40 cuts, or 40 images that 40 credits basically. So we save that one. Ooh, Lord, we got one more. Let's go ahead and do a new image. And this one is going to be, remember where it is. Did I pass it? Nope. Did one, two. This is the one we're missing. Let's go ahead and create a new. And already I'm getting a little bit better with this, even though this is my first time cutting in this program. I've never cut in this program before. So it is surprisingly, you know, the interface This is surprisingly simple. If I can get back to the cut. Oh, let me double click on that. Close that out. Close that out. I guess it just wants me to add an image. And I'm not sure why this thing, like, go away. What's up? I was on that, but now I'm trying to be on this. Lord. And this is covering up the, you know what? Let me just refresh and see if I can come back to it. Because ain't nobody got time for these kind of delays. That, I guess that was a glitch. It kept leaving that, option to add a file open. We want to get to cutting this thing out now. So this time I'm going to start with the lasso. Like I said, I am trying this just like you would be. So if I want to start with the lasso and get rid of some stuff first, I wonder how. And like I said, we don't need all that down there. We're going to cut them. Oh. Well, you know what? We need to undo that because I think I need at least some of that down there. So the lasso is kind of closing itself off depending on how far I go off of the page. So you might want to be careful of that. But it definitely is helping to zero in on the image without all of that mess. That was bothering me a little bit. And like in Photoshop, when you hold down the space bar, this does pan. It does become a pan tool. Let's see if the magic cutout works any better now. We're on remove instead of keep. The tolerance is 32. Oh, okay. That worked out better than having all of that extraneous stuff. Not bad. Well, this is also in front of a chroma screen or whatever they call it. Chroma blue and chroma green. So that, you know, you probably won't be that lucky. You probably will get a picture from you know, softball mom or softball dad from their phone, and it's gonna have all kind of junk in the background. So bless your heart, you're gonna do what you can do with that. I'm just coming in and seeing if I can clean that up. We can zoom in. I'm using the middle of the mouse wheel to zoom in. Does it clean that up? And this is not doing bad at all, guys. If this were on a tablet and I was using a stylus, this would probably be like therapeutic a little bit. And just to, you know, sit there and cut out images. This is something I would teach my little niece and nephew to do so they could help out. As a matter of fact, this is something I did start teaching them how to do when we were doing on-demand events, and they wanted to help out, and gave them a iPad and here, cut out pictures. And at first they're just practicing, so eventually I'll get them to where they can cut out pictures in real time and be some real help, and who knows. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and increase the size now to get the rest of this garbage. I'm debating what I'm going to do about this right here, the blue that's in her hair. Let's zoom in and see what we can do. I'm interested to see if I decrease the size, if it's going to kind of guess where this blue is. I was wondering if it has a smart, I don't think it has a smart filter on there. Yeah, kind of is what it is. Yeah. In this case, you're gonna have to go in with that little bitty brush and do some work. But I cut off too much of her face. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this off as if nothing was there, and then come out and see if it makes sense. So I would have to get really close, maybe even using a lasso. And this lasso doesn't seem like it would be that hard to use if you were using a stylus. So So for the free ski, this was not that bad, but it did take some time. I'm gonna go ahead and fade this off now. We'll do the brush, increase size, increase softness, and we'll just take off that bottom and go ahead and crop this image. Now I want to have one of the subjects be fully in the front and two of the subjects, this is zoomed out, two of the subjects are going to be in the background. It just did something to my image resolution. Let me go back a second. Oh duh, when I cropped it, it's no longer 3000 pixels. I was like, wait a minute, image size changed. That's what's up. Let's save that, download it, and it looks like it's keeping the full resolution of whatever you do on this, so that's pretty cool. And this was a rather large image, so you have an editor that will remove the background. That is free, that you can access from the internet. You don't even have to have the app on your phone. That's neat. Let's see which ones we're going to turn into. I should have put these closer to the top of my list now. Where is this saving? Save, download. I guess it's going to my downloads folder. Who knows? Yep, it's going to my downloads folder. Okay, so now I want to trying to figure out which one I want to make. 1, 2, 3. So we'll have her. Let's go ahead and change the transparency for this one. Transparency, let's go with 60%, and we can type 60 in here. And let's save that, and I'm just going to save it with 60%. OP, which is opacity. Close that one, and then we'll open up. And I wonder if I can I drag the photo on here? Oh look, you can drag the photo on here. That's neat. Let's create a new, and then this one, we have to double click the unlock it, and let's change the transparency to 60, and let's save it, and we'll save it with 60 opacity. So you got your fade off, you got your opacity change, and then one more thing I want to show you is that you can do black and white. Ooh, then you see all that trash in there, but that's good because technically you need to be able to see it and take it out anyway. So let's go back to our cut. This one, let's get a bigger brush size. Let's clean that up. But it does like really show you when your image is not cut out nice. And I think that might just be the black and white option for this, because it really does make these edges like look nasty. So I'm not even going to save this because it didn't even do a good job of cleaning that up. So whatever the black and white filter is here, I'm not liking at all. Even when I bring down just the saturation, I don't like it. So if I do decide to do black and white, I'll do it in the designer. So I have my images. Now I'm going to start designing. So let's go. I'm going to go to my designer on NA Lab. You can design in any app you want to, but the reason why I'm doing it on this one is because the final design can be printed either on a shirt or the all over paper that you can get. Plus I got to advertise my stuff too, you know. Alright, so let's go to All Over Sublimation Tee, and this is actually the t-shirt. This is not the one where you just upload your art and get it. The one that you upload your art and receive the rolled up art print, it is called All Over, but it says we print, you press. Alright, so we're going to add a design, digital print. Let's upload an image, and let's find, hopefully these are in order. And I'm going to go ahead and view large icons so I can see what I'm dealing with, and bring in the transparent ones first. See how those look. Y'all are asking me how to do this transparent thing, and I searched high and low to find a free app that would allow you to do that. And I don't even know if y'all are still with me, so I'm gonna check in. Alright, I got a couple on. Yes, try again. I know it was offline, and then I actually started this new one, and then it was still saying the other one was online. And Octavius, we're gonna have to we're redoing this design. This is just for a demo to show them how to do the shirts without Photoshop. But I am going to take my time and cut out the images right that I feel is right anyhow. And we're gonna do a whole template based on this. So we're gonna do a softball themed template. But I just wanted to show people that you don't need Photoshop to design a cool shirt. So that's one. Let's go ahead and add the other one. And you can tell the opacity is lighter on that one. Let's upload the second image, which is going to be this one. And I did no pre-thought of layout. Barely even thought about what photos I was going to use. So this is very representative of what you would go through designing something like this. And while that is working, I'm going to go back to my inspiration image that we're supposed to be designing from. And I do see where things could have been cut out a little bit cleaner, definitely, but for what we're really working with in free apps, I will say that I cannot be mad at all at that at the free cutout program. I probably would soften those edges up a little bit, spending a little more time on it. Let's see, we got one more to bring in as far as photos, and that will be the full color. And let's say that's that one. We can even bring in the full standing image. I just wanted you all to see how you fade off the designs, because we thought that was virtually impossible. So I knew there had to be something out there that was free to do it. We are going to do a post after this. What your homework will be is to design using free apps. So there was a session we did earlier where Tanya pointed out where we were talking about doing the sock design on the free apps. So she mentioned that there is a pattern making program. I think it's for iPhones and Androids, but look for resources like that. I want you to look for things that are free, or inexpensive if you have to download for $1.99, but I really want you to focus on free, because y'all are always asking me how to use some kind of free program. So I want you to show me what free programs are out there, and I want you to do the research to see if it's worth doing. I have a little bit of trash. It must be on this image. Yep, a little bit of her glove. So I'm going to take this image and bring it all the way to the bottom by clicking down here, and at least that brought that underneath her face. But it's transparent, so you're going to see it anyway. Yeah, it's bothering me a little bit, but we'll figure out once we put our design and stuff on here. So we've got 3 images. We could imagine that could be a graduation shirt, that could be one person in 3 different poses. I want you to use your imagination on this. I'm gonna bring up my inspiration design from somewhere. And of course it has disappeared on me. Let's do, where was it? Keep it simple templates. Oh yeah, we got a lot more keep it simple stuff to do too, because I'm realizing this is pretty much keep it simple. This is foreground, background, text, and some accent. I think we are going to end up having some accent on here too. But what am I looking for right now? My example shirt, which is this one. And just to remind you, I'm going to pull the example shirt up here so you can see what it was supposed to be. This is the sample shirt that somebody wanted to see made. So you have a couple images watermarked in the background. We're going to see if we can achieve that. Alright, let's say, what else do we need to do? We definitely need a background. Let's just see what we already have. I'm not even going to do too much research on what we can pull in, because I know we can pull in anything. We'll probably end up pulling in some of those. Background. Let's try, let's select the grunge. Even though it's not grunge, I think it's more of like a, now this looks like a not so high resolution image. So we're going to see what happens when we blow this up and make it grayscale. Okay, it works. It works. Also, let's see what black and white does. And charcoal does the opposite. Shade makes it look like paper, rough paper. I think we're gonna go with the grayscale, and we're gonna set this all the way to the back. So go to position and size, set it to the back. Already looks like something. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's take the two images here and let's see what they look like in a grayscale. That means I'm probably going to have to use a lighter image, because when it grayscales, it does lighten it up a little bit. But I think it looks better than when that app tried to grayscale it, because it was looking trashy. Let's do a lighter background. So for my background, I might even be able to tint it. Let me see. Nah. I thought maybe I could tint it and get what I wanted, but I'm still seeing the original color through it. So in that case, I would look up, let's see, we need a lighter color. Let's do grunge background, and let's look up a white grunge background. We'll go to images, tools, make sure we look for a large size. And I'm looking for something that has something that's free. Let's see, that one's free, but I want something more square orientation, because I already know, since we have the sleeves and everything, that we might end up not really getting much of our grunge if it doesn't have, if it only has grunge around the corners, it's not going to do too well for us. So I want something that has something on the inside. Let's see what Wallpaper Access has for us. Hopefully it's not spammy. I don't know, guys. I've been downloading more like free stuff than I ever have before. I usually will do stock images, or if I need to download free files. Oh, this one's nice. I like that it actually has a little tint of black in there, so it adds some good contrast. I think that's the one that I was supposed to be getting, and I think it's going to my downloads, so let's check it out. So let's get rid of this one that's back here now. We'll go to our layers, and I can just exit out here and say okay. Let's add a new design. So you see that the majority of the time is spent prepping, cutting out your pictures, getting your things together. Let's upload an image, and I don't know, I think I'm gonna use this one, which was not the one I was seeking, but I think that'll work out really well. Let's say okay and make it large. Alright, and then if I want to bring it all the way to the bottom down there, I like that a lot better, and because it's lighter, I'm seeing my images better. And there are other tips and tricks you can do too, like if I'm going to do the the paint splashes or the sprays, anything like that, I would use like white right behind the image to bring it out, and then I would use the color around it to contrast. So let's do that. Let's do, now this one has like round color sprays on there. If I don't have any on here, let me type in the word paint and see what I come up with. I think, you know what it's called? Color splash. So let me type in splash and see what we come up with. I want some that have, see how there's some that have a little bit of transparency? I'm gonna go with those. And let's do another one because we don't have to do the same one. Let's look for another one that has some transparency. It still kind of goes. That one looks like it'll work. And I can bring these all the way to the bottom, or I could just move it down a level until I'm happy with where it's gone. And I might want this to go down one more level below the actual image here. Same thing with this one. I'm gonna bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. And I can change the color of it. So now let's take that one, let's do what I said and make this one that color splash. We're gonna do an effect to it, and the effect is going to be charcoal. Charcoal, what charcoal does is it makes it white, like it inverts it. So if I had black, it makes it white. And you're gonna see why this is gonna make a difference in just a moment. I'm gonna do the same thing here, and let's do the effect of charcoal. So that added my white, and now I'm gonna go and add some color behind it. So now I can do with my darker. I wanted a little transparency behind them because I want to keep them transparent. So let's add a splash. Now I can go with my darker splash. I feel more confident with that. And then I can tint my splash. So let's go to effects and let's go to tint and let's color it. We'll go with the red, and because it started off black, the more I go down on the amount, it's going to get closer to black. So there we go. Let's grab another one. Go here. This is all subjective. You can even twist and turn these things around. Let's grab that one. It's just based on what catches your eye and what you think you're going to do with it. I can rotate this just like I would in Photoshop. And I kind of want to be careful because this particular one, I do want to see more of that white behind it. But let's say I'm going to leave that one. I think I'm going to leave it black. We'll see. So this one now, I'm going to bring it down. I can bring it all the way to the bottom, and I know there's only one thing in the back that I want it to be above. So then I can bring it all the way to the bottom and then bring it up one level. And that's better than keeping on putting it down and down and down. Same thing with this one, bring it all the way to the bottom, bring it up one level. And I can resize, I can rotate, and you can even do that in the panel over here. Alright, let's see what we want to do with the black over here. If I want to keep it, I think I'm going to make it red just so I have a little red top and bottom, and then I'll probably put a little black at the bottom. So let's go to our effects. Let's do, matter of fact, what we can do, we can take this red one and we can copy it, copy, select it, and then let's paste it. That way we have two reds. And I can take my black one and kind of layer it down here, twist it around. And because I'm running off the page, you can't really tell it's the same exact splash. And of course, I want that to go to the bottom and then up one. And I can even tell it to not to resize proportionately. So if I uncheck this, if I give it a little time, I guess. Are you unchecking, sir? Let me click on it again. That one, resize proportionately. Well, I'm trying to tell it I don't want to resize proportionately, but it's doing its own thing right now, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let it be what it is. But if I wanted to stretch it out lengthwise, which is what I was trying to do, without making it so big, I could just make it bigger too. So there we go. I just wanted some of that black to kind of come off the edge. Definitely wanted some red to overlap. And then I can bring that black all the way to the bottom. Go into my position and size, down to the bottom. Then let's come up one. That brings it in front of the red. Up another one, that brings it in front of the background. And now let's grab our red and bring it up a layer. There we go. Actually, I liked it, kind of liked it better underneath the black. All right, so what else do we need? Some words on here. Text, yep. Let's do all caps, and we'll do, well, nope. Spell out pirate. And let's make it whatever size we need. And let's do white with a black outline. And let's find us a cool kind of font. Flashlight. Kind of looks piratey. Let's see, what else can we work with? Thunderstorm. I like thunderstorm. Let's try it. So I think what I'm gonna do is just say like Pirate Nation or something like that. And of course we're gonna end up moving this image and probably moving our image over here as well. Definitely don't want the bat in the face. So let's say pirate and bring the outline down a little bit. Now the outline color could be black, it could be the color back here. If I want to choose a color from the image, then I just click on my image, and this is where it's slowing down, because when it tries to use a smart color picker, sometimes it has a delay and it does mess you up. I don't know if it's picking the color appropriately, because it's probably confused when we switch these colors up and make it a red. But honestly, I think I like the black better anyway. So we'll go with the black, and I can still put a drop shadow on there with the effect. I can do a shadow or a glow. Let's do a little drop shadow on there. I can do a gradient, fade it from one color to another. So right now it's fading from white to white, but if I wanted to fade it to the red color, we have that option. I can fade it like to a light gray, which I think I like that. And now I'm not really liking that font so much, but let's see. And let's do, I'm gonna copy the selected and paste it so I don't have to redo all of that I just did. And let's say this one is gonna be Nation. And you could do a totally different font, totally different color scheme. In this case, let's do like a little skinny font that we can space out and do in all caps. So let's type in all caps, N-A-T-I-O-N, and my little, because you don't have the option to do all the spacing and stuff. but you can always add spaces. Get creative. Now this one maybe for the color. Let's do the color of the text is here. It's white, so you can't really see it. But let's say we're going to go with that color, and we can fade it, or we can do a solid color. I think if I do fade it with the gradient, instead of fading it to gray, I might fade it to black. And maybe not, because I was going to add a outline. Yeah, let's not fade it to black. Let's fade it. Let's choose a color, and we'll just choose a little bit darker red. And then in this case, let's add a white stroke. So we'll go back to our formatting, and instead of the outline being black, we'll make it white. Do we want to increase the thickness of the outline? I think that makes it stand out a little bit better. And maybe we have the year. So we could take the same thing. Let's say now we want to use, say we want to copy and paste this one. Let's copy that, paste it. Or in this case, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add a team name. Select the size. Let's say this will be a small. And then the name on here might be I'm trying to think, what would I do? Last name and number. That's typical. So let's just do Smith and number. I can't see any of their numbers on there, so I'm going to assume one of them's a 12. Let's do white, and let's change this font. And we're going to pretend like this is an image for like if it's one person's image. So then that way that would be their name and number. Let's do white for the 12. Change the flashlight as well. Oh, it's 14. Let's do 14. So we'll go back to change our team name. Edit team names. And if this was a bunch of people, you would not have to design this a bunch of times. You just put whatever size, whatever name, and whatever number, and it will populate all of these images. So this time, let's do this color. Let's do 14 in a color. Or we can glow it. Let's do a formatting, and instead of outline, no, this will be an effect. We'll do a glow instead of a shadow. And for the glow, let's try the red color, see how that looks. I'm kind of liking that. And it kind of gives a resist rather than just being a color on there. And I believe I can make my interior color, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I could make it transparent. Yep, if I hit that, make it transparent, so now I can see through it a little bit. Not much, but you can kind of see through it. It's not like Photoshop, but it does do a little something there. Alright, so now that I see the elements that I want, I'm trying to work with placement and how I'm going to do these photos. I don't like photos on this, like entirely on the sleeves, because it gives me a little issue. I'm going to have to move this below for right now. Position and size, bring it down, bring it back up, and that way I'm hoping I can get to my photo better. Here we go. And of course, you know, you have that collar up there, so you have to be careful of that too. And now this image I can bring up since I have my photo where I want it. And let's do effect, formatting. I don't think I like it with the mask because it's not really showing the image through there. And as long as I'm careful, I should get the majority of this 14 on there. Now keep in mind that when I change this for the team member, it's going to change that as well. It's going to change the number and the name. So let's do Smith. Let's rotate. Position and size. Let's do a little rotation. Why not? That way if it's a longer name, it'll go down the sleeve. Same thing here. I'm going to do a glowing effect on it. If you want to keep with the same colors, you can always come up here and it tells you everything that you're using in this art. So bring the strength up a little bit, blur up just a little bit. Now the name is probably some names are gonna be longer than others, so you want to make sure that you accommodate for that. As a matter of fact, when I'm doing my team names, I will always, let's say I had last name Thompson, which is way longer than Smith, and let's say Thompson was 22, or like a bigger number. 88 I think is one of the biggest numbers. I don't think there is an 88, but I'm just letting you know it's one of the widest numbers you can get, an 8 and an 8. So if I wanted to preview that, I would go here, go to my edit my team names, and tell it I want to view this one instead of this one. So now I can see, does Thompson fit? And if Thompson fits, I know Smith will fit. And if 88 fits, I know our 14 will fit. And as long as I make sure that this is fitting on at least the smallest shirt, then we're going to be good. So, I probably will play with this just a little bit more. Maybe take some of that black, we'll copy and paste it, and I might do like a little bit of black up here. Just turn it a little bit and bring it all the way to the bottom. Bring it up one, just to give me a little touch of black up here on this edge. Not much, but just something to kind of balance it out. And I probably would play with my images a little bit more, but as you can see, we got a whole design done. This is pretty much ready to go. I could save this design. As a matter of fact, I don't even have to save it. I could create like a link for it, which that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this link at the bottom of the video so y'all can see exactly all the layers and the elements that went into this. And as a matter of fact, when this is done, I'll bring up our source image and show you how we pretty much reproduced it. Not exactly, but pretty much. If I was really going to do it, I need to upload a brush for y'all that looks like just like a very soft spray paint, soft round brush. So this is gonna take some time to say. This is huge. This is a huge workspace. This literally translates to a 44-inch by 36-inch sheet of paper. So that's how it tells the printers exactly what to print, and this will go all the way up to a 3X, possibly even a 4X shirt. So this is a huge file, huge print, and hopefully it saves the day without doing anything crazy to us. But I'm gonna check my messages because I got something else I'm supposed to be doing. So I have an all over shirt to do in just a little bit with my little 7720 or 7710. So I can copy that link, and if anybody else wanted to see what that looked like, I'm gonna paste it. That way I have it. But basically anybody could go to that link and work on the same design and change it. So you have homework. I'm gonna give you this link, so I'm pretty much cheating for you. But I want to see what you do different with it. I want to see you play with the opacity of images, maybe even your tints. So for instance, that image, I could, let me go back to that photo, right? Can I go to this photo? That photo? Go to my layers. I'm on that photo. Let me do, because right now it's in grayscale. If I were to do a tint, I can technically tint it, but it works better if you had grayscale selected first and then you try to tint it, because then you would have the blacks already in there. But you could tint the color a little bit, and then that way you would have it in color rather than in black and white. So that's an option as well. But I'm gonna call that that. Now I would definitely make sure that I'm inside. Y'all know how I feel about being inside of these little areas where you might get cut off. So you gotta make it do what it do and do it right. Otherwise, some of your shirts will you know, won't be cut off and other ones will. And you just don't want to take that chance, especially when you're dealing with people of varying sizes. So you might have the kids, might be adult smalls, and then you might have some 4X grown-ups, and you're sitting there designing for the 4X, and then most of the kids' shirts are going to be off, and they're the ones that are being represented. So you definitely want to make sure. I'm still playing with this thing, y'all. I'm gonna be done with this. I got another order to work on just now, but I'm gonna check on y'all real quick, see if y'all had any questions. Alright, so do I have this template? This is technically not a template. This is something that I just threw together on this app, but I can certainly make it a template, and that's the point. Once you feel comfortable designing on something like this, you should absolutely feel comfortable starting to play in Photoshop. So I'm doing this as a builder. For those of you who just really think you can't do Photoshop, I'm letting you know that you absolutely can. If you can do what I'm doing here, you can do Photoshop. What's up, Erastus? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Oh, you cut some out this morning. Okay, Octavius. Hey, yeah, we definitely need to do a project. So I want to work on something with you on that. And Randy, I do have a template like this for sale, but I can definitely make this into either a Photoshop or Affinity template. You just let me know and I will definitely do it. And if I can get it done tonight, it will be a part of the $10 special that's going on right now. So message me on Innate Creatives, take a screenshot of this so I remember, and say, hey, can you make this a template for me for either Photoshop or Affinity, and I definitely can do that. Y'all have any questions? Or oh, you have Affinity, good. So Randy, did you catch the Affinity? We did an Affinity session today. So if you didn't, it was a 2-hour session. We did the Fire Flame one in Affinity, and then we also did something similar to this as a graduation shirt, but this one has the opacity and stuff. So definitely. Oh yeah, Octavius, you're welcome. You know, I love to work with quality work, so I see the quality that you have, and it makes the design speak out better because the photos are quality. Okay, well go watch that, Randy, and that template might be what you want because it already has like gradients and stuff, but some people just really like the splashes, and if you really like the splashes, I can definitely build one with just splashes and still have the gradients and stuff in it. Okay. All right. Any other questions? I'm going to tell you exactly what the homework is. It's going to be a post, and I'll probably have this picture as the post or this video as the post. And what I want you all to do is cut out images. I don't care what program you use, cut out an image. Well, I do care what programs you use. It can't be Photoshop Affinity. The whole point of this homework is it's a no-toe shop. So at the end, I want you to tell me what apps you're using. If you do like a pattern print, like how we did the sock prints, a step and repeat pattern, if you used an app for that, let us know what app. So this is an opportunity for us to share with one another free apps. So I'm going to show y'all this one before I go. I know I said I was going to go, and somebody going to be real mad at me today. But let me look up. I showed some of you all this earlier today, and I'm going to show y'all again. So this is a free app that I want y'all to get excited about because I was really excited about it, and I don't want to feel like I'm by myself and being lame. Lunapic. So those of you who were here earlier, y'all got to check this out. Y'all got to check it out. Let's go to, I'm going to upload. Now this is, try Lunapic. Lunapic does everything that you can imagine that a free app like Photoshop would do. Has a lot of features, but what I'm going to do is just upload. Let's see if we can upload one of our images here, and let's go to our downloads folder. Let's get our full color. Let's get this one with some action in it. Oh, I hate that our hair didn't cut out right, but shoot, we'll deal with it. See what it's working with. It's uploading. Ooh, now you see all that trash. For real, y'all. I hope y'all stuff ends up better than this, but let me show you what this does. Let's do, I want to show y'all a few things where you can use these as elements in your design. And if my background was cut out better, this would be a lot cleaner. You would not see any of this trash right here. But these are art effects that you can apply to your images for free. So I want y'all to play, like, look at this. This is no joke. No joke. So this is one of the things, like, I want y'all to, like, get crazy with. This is a part of the free app, so you can do your cutout. You can make it look artistic, and then you can basically, you know, clean it up, because this program is going to put stuff in the background anyway, whether it had a clean background or not. But you can go back and clean up the outside with the little feather brush from the Pixlr, and have you a whole artistic shirt. So I want no excuses, y'all. No excuses. We got free resources here, and then I'm hoping y'all will share with me some more free resources so that I can share with others. So if this is a platform for helping folks, we got to be able to share these resources. Okay. So although I still want y'all to spend some coins with me, I'm not selfish. I don't only want to have your monies. I want you to really learn. I want you to be encouraged, and I want you to show off. The higher the resolution photo, the better the cleaner the photo. You're going to get some really good results with this. So I did some earlier with Cardi, and they turned out really cool. So play with that. Let me know what you come up with. That's one of my resources there. So I guess I can put that in the description of the video for the homework. But I want y'all to share, okay? Share. Randy, yeah, it does look really cool. And I guess it's not working right now. I'm probably overloading it and running this video. So hopefully that didn't cut us off and we're still live, and I can check you all. I don't know if I'll get back on later this evening, but somebody asked me how I'm going to tile, or how I tile the in Photoshop, doing the all over prints. I don't do that for production purposes, but I will do it if I have something that I need, like today, which is the case right now. I have somebody waiting on an all over shirt for a Black History project for tomorrow. So I'm going to use Photoshop. I'm going to calculate what my tile sizes are going to be, and then I'm going to use my long paper, my roll media paper, and that way for my front I only need 2 sheets, and for my back I need 2 sheets. So if I get a chance to show you all that, I'll show you. If not, then I'll just demonstrate it tomorrow after I get this job done and I don't have these people waiting. So yeah, Randy, that's something a lot of people have been requesting, how we do that through Photoshop, especially with the 13 by 19 printers, or 13 by 19 sheets of paper. I tend to try to do it with the rolled paper, just so that I'm tiling as little as possible. Those tiles, they irk my nerves. Okay. All right, loves. Well, I appreciate y'all spending the Sunday evening with me. Some of y'all been spending all day with me because I've been catching up on work and showing you all what I'm doing. So take advantage of the template sale. There's a few that I do have to post tonight by 8 p.m. Some like the green remembrance shirt with the car and the paint splashes. I got to post that one. And I will get on that as soon as I finish this all over shirt. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, loves. I will talk to y'all soon. Love you. Goodbye. Just for now.